Folks, welcome to So Bad It's Good, part two of Vanderpump Palooza, Vanderpump Extravaganza. I am on fumes right now, and I now have to recap the entire episode. By the way, nobody's asking me to do this, so I'm not, oh, now I have to I'm doing this of my own accord, my own free will, and my own barely sane mind. But just, dear little baby God, if you could give me the strength to rip on Tom Sandoval and Rachel, and all of the people of Vanderpump, all of these horrible, horrible people, minus a couple of them, please give me this strength so I can have this next hour and a half go somewhat smoothly, fully untethered, but somewhat coherent. You guys, welcome to So Bad It's Good. If you didn't listen to the part one was a lot of Jackson Brittany on Watch What Happens Live and everything that happened at the reunion. And at the tail end of that, you could tell I was like waiting for new information to come in. And I was like, I was just frazzled. So not my best work at the very end of that one, but I did forget a couple of things about the reunion. So I'm going to say them right now. And we're starting with, this was so great. This is something that did leak today, and I thought was, or leaked afterwards in regards to, so funny. Andy served, Rachel had Andy serve Scheana papers. I know it sounds completely insane, but let me try to explain this to you guys. This is the headline. Raquel served Scheana papers with no legal meaning at VPR reunion, according to an attorney. Raquel Leviss had Andy Cohen serve Scheana Shay with papers that have no legal meaning at Thursday's reunion taping. An attorney for the latter reality star tells Page Six. My God, Page Six. I want to work at Page Six just because, you get to say, like when people talk to Page Six. So Rachella had Andy serve Scheana with a document during the reunion, but the papers have no legal meaning, says Nima Ramani, who is Sheena's attorney, who's been making statements, and he keeps using Rachel in the statements instead of Raquel because he's Tom Petty. He's like petty. He's like the girls. He's petty. Quote, it was a request to dismiss a complaint or a civil lawsuit, but Rachel had requested a permanent restraining order, which is something completely different. The president of West Coast Lawyers continues, there is no way for Rachel to drop the temporary restraining order before next week's hearing. This is California law and even on the court's website. Ramani goes on to say that Levis's document wasn't filed with the court, adding that there is no file stamp in the top right corner to render it official. This was just another public relations stunt by Rachel and her team. The former federal prosecutor concludes. By the way, how pissed off is Scheana that she actually has to pay money for an attorney? That's what I keep thinking is like, Scheana must be lit. That could go towards Brock's protein powder or Little Summer Moon, like more cute outfits and stuff like that. Really, one of the cutest babies of all the Vanderpump babies. If Rachel really wanted to make this go away, she would come out and publicly say the punch never happened. And she is sorry for all the harm she caused Scheana, Ariana, and her other friends. Wow, I can't believe he even used friends in that. So what it sounds like, and this, people wanted to fight with me back and forth a couple weeks ago when I was one of the first people to break the news about the restraining order, saying like, listen, this will make it hard. I was one of the first people to say this will make it harder to do the reunion. And here we are at the reunion, and it's exactly what I said. It's a temporary restraining order, which doesn't mean the restraining order has been granted, but it was temporary in the fact that California state law, you will not be able to be, 100 yards from each other until the hearing, until the judge can rule against or for this. And I was hearing that the judge would probably rule against this once everything came out. So it sounds like this false document, if I'm reading this correctly, was something that was not officially filed, but something that said she wanted to potentially dismiss the charges. I'm really a little bit confused with the wording of that, but that's what I had heard last week with that Rachel was going to dismiss this. But once you file something, it's in the court system and it has to be dealt with, I guess, in a proper way, according to our judicial and legal system. So Another great move. I still keep thinking about those paparazzi photos of them being like Black Emo, Sandoval, and Raquel. And I was just like, what are they talking about? Like, what are they like? Raquel, what do you want to do after the reunion? Do you want to go get McDonald's or something? I don't know. Do you think everybody will still be friends with me now? Can you refill my vape? They love to smoke. Also, I told you on part one, by the way, I just got a health notification from Apple saying it's my bedtime. It's 11:30 at night. Sorry, Apple, not tonight. We're staying up late. So right now there is a party going down where everybody is celebrating the end of the reunion. And you got Ariana, you got Jared Lipscomb, you got Logan, you got Dana from the previous season who's no longer on the show. You had Katie there. You have Sheena there. You have Janet Elizabeth there, who's been on the show. You've got a who's who of Vanderpump regulars. And of course, Mr. Jax Taylor was there as well. He was tagged in the photo that was posted. And I'm telling you, once again, I said it in part one, Sandoval, you made this happen, man. Now, Jax is back in the circle. Now, Lala said today in a post of like, on her Instagram, loved seeing Jax and Brittany on Watch What Happens Live. I want them back on the cast next year. First off, I don't think the cast should ever be making any kind of casting decisions on this. But take this down the road with me, just briefly, will you? Jax and Brittany are back on the show. They have a podcast coming out. So what? We do a couple episodes about their podcast, about them raising little baby Couchy. What else do we got? Because the reality of that situation, for them to work on this show, knowing reality shows, like I feel like it's like really be careful of what you want and what you wish for. Because for them to really get back in the mix of things, and I know this sounds fatalist, but Jax would have to cheat again and he'd have to get busted. And then it's like, yeah, come back on the show, man. Like, and also Jax seems like the kind of guy that'd be like, dude, I had to cheat Brittany. It's the only way we can be back on. It's the only way. Nobody wants to see us living our lives in Valley Village. I had to cheat. I didn't want to cheat, had to cheat for the stability of our family. You wouldn't get it. It's like a total Jax kind of thing. You can already kind of like, I can totally do the monologue in my head right now. But he's at that party, and I'm just like, it's great that they're all supporting Ariana and Katie, but they were all clapping at Raquel, like booing at Raquel on the screen, and it's great. It'll be interesting to hear more about that. Also, I wanted to play this one clip of Lala after the reunion. She went home. She did not party, which I thought actually was wildly smart. I'm trying to find it for you guys right now. I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to find it, but basically it was just saying I'm home. It was one of the most intense reunions that I've ever been a part of, emotionally exhausting, which is always wild because remember the last reunion was when she couldn't come. I believe she was one of the people that had COVID along with Katie and Schwartz. And so she was zooming in, and that was also after the breakup of Randall and her. And that wasn't even the most emotionally exhausting. This was. So, I mean, somebody I read today said, oh, temper your expectations. It's probably not going to be that exciting to watch. And I don't agree with that, just in the sense of already this has been, I hate to keep using the word exciting because it's not that. It's been emotionally wrenching, but we like watching emotionally wrenching things. We just do. As a society, we do. It's like watching car crashes, or slowing down by a car crash. So I think it'll be really fascinating just to watch everybody's faces. Real Housewives of Miami, they had their last part of the reunion today, and they did this great, the producers of that, Purveyors of Pop, the production company, did this great thing where they were doing 2 boxes. You could see 2 reactions, and I thought it was great, and I almost want to make a suggestion of doing 4 to 6 boxes, bloop, 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 like they do with Summer House. Show us every reaction. In fact, let the viewers decide. Let us decide. Give me all the video and let me decide who I watch at any time. You can watch it 6 different ways. Just have a camera right on Sandoval the whole time, a camera on Lala the whole time, a camera on Schwartz, like, whoa, man, this is crazy. And we'd get to watch it like 7 or 8 different ways. But I think the minutia will be fascinating about the reunion, even if Sandoval and Raquel are just like, dude, this is what happened. It just happened. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, that could be bullshit. We'll hear a bunch of bullshit canned answers that he's practiced, but it's not about that. It's about seeing the reactions of, it's about seeing the hurt in Ariana's eyes or the anger in Ariana's eyes. It's about seeing Lisa wondering how much more money she can make off these people. It's about seeing Andy Cohen wondering the same thing. It's about seeing Schwartz wondering if he's wearing clean underwear that day. There's so many things that you can tell just by looking. It's not just the dialogue. That's second. It's always the behavior. Look at the behavior. Look, why am I saying behavior? Look at the behavior. Look at the behavior. No, but honestly, look at the behavior. That's where everything to me lies. It's so fascinating because the mouth can be saying one thing, but the body can be saying something completely different. That sounded actually really creepy when I just said that. Anyway, so I'll try. If anything breaks, I have so many people texting me right now, and it's 11:30 at night. Oh, wait. I'm now getting information. Jax was not there. It looks like Dana just tagged him for some reason. Jax posted he's with Max Boyens at Boys Night. Different place, different tables. Maybe he was at both places. Why is Jax with Max Boyens? Max Boyens was the old manager at TomTom, and he was on for the one season, and Sheena gave him the Apple Watch, remember? And he was also he was sleeping with Dana as well, and that was a major storyline. By the way, Dana is one of those people that had a real tough road to hoe because they gave her a lead of that series when they were trying to break in all those new cast members. They tried to make her like the new lead, and none of us really knew her at all. And we were like, why are we watching scenes with somebody we truly don't know or care about yet? And that's really difficult for somebody to do, but it looks like she remained friends with all of them. So I'll find out more with Jax. People keep texting me. So by the way, thank you to Marissa. She was the one that texted me. She's been giving me so much information and in the right directions. If you didn't listen to the first part, thank you to Meditza and Sandra who work for me. And also, okay, let's just get into this. March 22nd in the year of our Lord 2023, Vanderpump Rules season 10, episode 7. Also, if you haven't been listening to the show this week, there's been so much Vanderpump information on there. I talked about Raquel Rocky's TMZ interview yesterday. I also talked about her being potentially neurodivergent or autistic. My sister was on to give a Taylor Swift review with my niece, and we had a conversation about autism as well. That was on yesterday's program. The Vanderpump mid-season trailer recap was on Tuesday, and Monday I had a Laura Marie Shaynals from Sexy Unique podcast, another Vanderpump Rules podcast. She was on, and it's all Vanderpump all the time now, baby. But I look forward to getting into other entertainment stories very soon. This episode was called Galaxy Gaslighting. Now, if I was a detective, and I kind of am now, like Christian Doty, Galaxy Gaslighting, I would take that to mean galaxy because of Rocky Raquel's Galaxy light that she was like, it puts me at peace. I listen to Tame Impala and look at my skylight, Galaxy light. Everybody was making fun of the Galaxy light on the show. I will say this is the one thing where I was like, that's kind of like, as an older man, I'm like, that's really cool, man. I need one of those Galaxy lights. I love shit like that. But also one of those things is like, you kind of like Tom Sandoval probably. He's like, what would be cool in here? If you had a Galaxy light. I have a Galaxy light, and sometimes I'll just put it on and look at the stars in the bedroom when Ariana is asleep, and I'll just look at the stars and I'll think, I'm a big, bright, shining star myself. Yeah, with the band and stuff. And I'll just dream about the cosmos and the galaxy. Are like, we all alone? We can't be. There's got to be aliens. This is the description the cable. By the way, if you're new to the show, I'm so sorry. I'm like this. This is the description the cable company gives the, Bravo gives the cable company. James starts to spiral. Okay, you can just put a period right there. James starts to spiral when he feels that his friends are choosing Raquel over him. Lala breaks her. This was such a great / potentially horribly disgusting storyline. Lala breaks her years-long dry spell when she hooks up with a new guy. And then Katie and Sheena clash over a hotel room snafu. You had me in all, like, I'm in for all of this. I'm like, hotel room snafu, I'm in. You talking Lala breaks a dry spell? I'm in. James spiraling? I'm in. We have the previously on Vanderpump Rules. where they show us scenes from the past 6 episodes where it's, we're doing a girls trip for Katie's divorce party. We have Terry Maloney, Katie's mom. We have that scene again where Terry's like, so are you going to Sheena's wedding? Katie's like, no, mom. And Lisa's like, why aren't you going to a wedding then? And Terry says, Sheena suggested that Raquel and Tommy hook up. By the way, that's how you know. That's why it's like the divorces and splits are so hard, because families are involved. Like Miss Maloney has, you know, a nickname for Tom. We all call him Schwartz. She calls him Tommy. You know, like these are real situations, real people going through this. And we have then the scene at the Hotel Paris where Katie and Raquel are talking about, you know, her kissing Oliver. And Katie was like, Lala was supposed to kiss him. And Lala was like, I would never trust you around my man. And Raquel was like, thank God you don't have a man. And she does this weird hand gesture, like a sir waitress with like one of those sir waiters with the drinks on top. She's like, here's your drink. She does this like, thank God you don't have a man for me to heal. By the way, this was like a drunken line, like I said last week, but like Christina Kelly was like, oh my God, Raquel. Which is literally like the reaction also when I let like a fart out somewhere and everybody's like, oh my God, Ryan. No, but like this was like, they acted like it was like the end of the world. And in a sense now, looking back, it is. But if you didn't know, remember, we don't know the Sandoval information. So we are watching these shows without that. And like I said last week, you would watch it from a totally different lens if we didn't know the Sandoval thing. And you would kind of be supporting Raquel. We know that's very different now. Then at Havasu, we see the Raquel Lala fight heat up. Then we have a Schwartz at Tom Tom last week scene where Schwartz is like, let's have a guys' night. Which, by the way, with these guys, every night is guys' night for them. There is no, these guys like think they rule the roost. And that's why it's so not funny, but like, us guys are such dolts. It's like, you get caught, you idiots, you got caught. And James is like, oh, guys night, yeah. And then Schwartz is like, well, Sheena's going to be there. And James is like, Ali like kind of expressed to me like, I should just not be around Raquel right now. Which is like, Ali seems like to be potentially one of the only people with a brain on this show, because yeah, maybe you shouldn't be with the ex that you were engaged with on a TV. Like, it's a basic thought, really. And then we have Raquel and Havasu going, it was a mistake for me to come on this trip, so I'm leaving to hang out with Schwartz and Sheena. And then we were at Sky Bar for guys' night, and Sandoval's like, cheers, guys. And Matt, the bartender at Schwartz and Sandy's, who Schwartz didn't want to fire, even though he was drinking on shift, Matt's like, to the Schwarzenator, which I really don't think that nickname's going to take off at this point. Raquel and Charlie walk in, and Schwartz is like, what the fuck? And Sandoval's like, his hand, by the way, I mean, listen, they obviously knew they were coming in. Schwartz might have been surprised, but Sandoval wasn't. Like I said, these people they are friends. They do text each other. So Sandoval was like, what the? His hands were like, what the? He's like a really bad actor. What the heck? And anyways, you know, the best days of our life. Okay, so we go to the first scene, which is a continuation of last week's episode. And Sandoval's like, what's up? What's up, girls? We have a shot of Schwartz just looking worried, like, oh no, what does this mean? Am I going to have to make out with Raquel Rachel? Oh no. You know, I think he like sometimes forgets that he's not married. So he's like, oh no, I'm going to have to cheat on Katie again. Oh no. Oh no. And my favorite is DJ James Kennedy going, oh, guys night means nothing. Hi, Charlie. They all hug and greet each other, including James and Raquel. Now, DJ James Kennedy doesn't really realize these other relationships are happening. They realize they're friends, but I think DJ James Kennedy's under the impression that Raquel still holds a flame for him, and maybe she does in a sense, but I also want to put out a theory here that Raquel, once she did get the friendship of Schwartz, Ariana, Sandoval, Sheena, all that crew, I feel like she's completely forgotten about DJ James Kennedy. I mean, not forgotten him, but you know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't care at all. Like, that's why I feel like Rachel Raquel Rocky, I just keep adding names, is an interesting case to study because it doesn't seem like she feels things or thinks of things the way that a lot of us do. Like she genuinely doesn't seem troubled at all. She's like, okay. And that's what I always said. The few times I've been around her, it just seemed like I just couldn't tell if she was happy, sad. I mean, you know, she was really nice, but I couldn't, you know, I just couldn't I couldn't read her. And I usually, I mean, now I read people, but it seems like I read them wrong, including Sandoval. But you know what I'm saying? I couldn't get a beat on it. And I think she's kind of totally moved on from DJ James Kennedy and doesn't really even think about it in the terms that we think about it. So DJ James Kennedy's all butthurt about guys' nights. Brett, the manager over at Schwartz and Sandy's, he looks glum for some reason. James in a talking head goes, like, I wanted a guys' night. I wanted to be like, I'm one of the guys now. I'm one of the boys. I'm happy. I got a sexy ass girlfriend. I love her butt. How are you guys doing? What's happening with the ladies? I mean, I wanted this to be guys' night. Guys, guys' night. I've never seen or heard somebody be so excited about a guy's night in my life. I mean, this guy loves guys. This guy is, I mean, it's like guys night. I mean, this is how I imagine fraternity girls are during pledge week. He's just like guys night. I've never been invited to a guys night. Just like Raquel had never had a girls trip before. DJ James Kennedy seems like he's never had a guys night before. And he looks genuinely crestfallen. He looks just horrible. I mean, he's even doing the pom-pom. G-U-Y-S. What's that spell? Guys, it's DJ James Kennedy hanging out with the guys, maybe eating some fries, talking about the ladies, talking about their ass, talking about getting some in the DJ James Kennedy hanging with the guys. We're talking guy stuff. We're talking face care and moisturizing. Guys night. Top man is a bad man, she says. I mean, you almost feel like DJ James Kennedy's like, guys night, but I know my ex is here. Now I can't cheat on people with my ex here. Come on, guys night. He's just so crestfallen about this. I also like the line in this, I got a sexy ass girlfriend. I love her butt. Like, these are the things that he thinks people talk about at guys night. Like, hey, smell my fingers, guys night. Yeah. Oh, guys. Hey, let's talk about nipples. My girlfriend's got cool nipples. It's guys night, guys. Schwartz is like, Charlie, you want a shot? And Sandoval's like, where are you going, James? Because James walked out. And James is like, I'm a little overwhelmed right now. And Sandoval's like, I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. My ex-girlfriend just walked in. We're having a guy's night. This is not a guy's night. And Sandoval's like, I know. It's the absolute opposite, Sandoval. James in a talking head goes, how do you think Allie's going to think at home? Like, why are you hanging out with your ex right now? By the way, James, she might actually just genuinely be happy to be alone right now. I'm just like, cool, honey, have a good night. I'm just gonna relax, and you're always on a 10. James is like, I thought it was Schwartz's night. I thought we were coming out. I thought we had a room upstairs, like we were popping bottles like we do every year. James goes, this just insecurities and untrust, something I don't want in my new relationship. Which is funny. He's like, in my old relationship, full of untrust. Not from me. I was the one cheating on her. I don't want to do that with Allie anymore. It was never Raquel cheating. It was always me. And I hated that. How dare her make me do all those things? Not in this relationship. Very honest in this one. Yes. Guys night. Anyways. Sandoval's like, okay. It's cool, dude. It's cool. Schwartz is upstairs. And he asked Raquel, are you good? And Raquel's like, yeah, I mean, I just want to have fun. The whole purpose of this trip was to have fun. And it's the opposite of that. Katie's mom was there. And Schwartz is like, oh, I love Terry. And he's like, oh, man, and Sheena's like, yeah, I love Terry. And Raquel's like, she loves you too. And Schwartz is like, she's my girl. And Raquel's like, but I had to explain in front of Terry the fact that I entertained the idea of making out with you. And then she started crying. Dude, I mean, that's so effed up. And it's also effed up because Schwartz is like, what? Oh, why does anybody care about that? What? Like, that would be horrifying if I heard my ex's mom had to hear about me. I mean, like, if that is your girl, Schwartz, like, you'd be like, oh, why did you do, like, I always want to be with Raquel in the scenes, even pre-Sandoval. I always want to be like, why did you say that? That's so weird. Like, why did you tell Katie that you wanted to make out with me? I mean, I want to make out with you, but could you just keep it secret? I don't understand half of the things, why she says what she says. Anyway, Sandoval and James returns, and Sandoval's like, talk to me. What the fuck happened? All of a sudden, like, Raquel is all the center of attention, and she's kind of feeling it. She's like, I was being young and fun and single, living my best life. And these girls like literally set me up to make me seem like I'm only chasing after guys that they're interested in. And Sandoval's face is like, what? What'd you say? Uh-oh. And she goes, Lala goes, honestly, Raquel, I'm really concerned about you right now. Honestly, I would never trust you around my man. And I said, it's a good thing you don't have one. And Schwartzy goes, you stood up for yourself. She does not like to be challenged. Schwartz, by the way, just astounded that he's never like successfully stood up for Katie ever. And he's like, or kind of himself, you could throw that in there as well. But he's like, oh, what's that like to stand up for something? Or I don't know. Anywho, so Raquel goes, Raquel goes, and then Raquel makes this weird body motion, gross, like, she's trying to imitate Lala, but I think she's like, it also looks like a seizure. I don't know. And Charlie's like, oh, Raquel, you said something again, which made it even better. And Raquel goes, what did I say? What? And Charlie goes, Lala, I shouldn't trust you. You fucked my boyfriend and you were a mistress. So then I shouldn't trust anyone around my boyfriend. It should be you. And then they stormed off and left us at the restaurant and we had a great time. James, by the way, the whole time is texting. He's like, oh my God, Raquel and Charlie just came here. And Allie writes, bubble, bubble, so leave. I don't know, man. Allie's really starting to I'm starting to like her. Schwartz is like, I bet that felt good though. You know? That felt good. And Sheena's like, you said that, girl? Schwartz in a talking head goes, hearing that Raquel stood up to Lala? I don't know. I'm kind of impressed. And I was like, Schwartz, just wait, man. You're going to be really impressed soon about some of the stuff Raquel's doing. It's going to blow your flipping mind. She's kind of thriving, you know? It's kind of hot. So dumb. We're so dumb it's kind of hot when women do manly things. It's kind of, when women do things men can't do, it's kind of hot. Yeah. And Schwartz goes, that was deep rooted. That was in there. Meanwhile, James is sitting there between Charlie and Schwartz. He keeps texting. I can't be here, bro. What happened to boys' night, bro? And Schwartz is like, what? I'm passing out. I'm about to go to sleep, bro. James in a talking head goes, I feel like Raquel is trying to get a rise out of me. This is the funny thing. She's not at all. She's not at all. She might not be doing it directly, right? Because she never does. But it's a big clusterfuck of energy, and I want nothing to do with it. James goes, I'm leaving. And Charlie yells, newly divorced, everyone. Now we go back at the rental house and have, oh, God, you guys, get ready for this scene. Sorry, I'm booking a guest right now. Sorry. I'm just booking a Vanderpump guest that you'll be excited about, just texting me. Okay, anyways. Back at the rental house in Havasu. And by the way, at this point, if you're listening to the podcast or watching this on YouTube, I need you to kick the kids out of wherever you're listening to. I don't even care if it's a moving car. You got to kick them out. Are the kids gone? Because we're about to get dirty. And this is an adult show anyways, but Lala kicks this into overdrive. So I just want to warn everybody, we're going to talk really adult themes. And I don't mean adult themes and like cheating and lying and all of that stuff. I'm talking about sexy time. I'm talking about penis and vagina. I'm talking about the things that you do with the penis and the vaginas. Lala is like, you guys, it was such a fun night. It felt normal. It felt like the trip that we planned, Katie. Huh. And then Katie's like, Lala, do you know how inspired I was when it was like watching you at the bar tonight? It was like slow motion, Sixpence None the Richer. Remember that band? So kiss me. When those guys walk by you there, we flash back to earlier that night when all those dudes walked in and caught Lala's eyes. And Katie's like, the bucket hat guy, right? Anyways, Katie is at the Havasu house and goes, hey, what's that dude saying? Is he coming over? And Lala's like, yeah. And Christina Kelly gasps. And Katie's like, I'm so happy for you, girl. And Lala's like, I'm nervous right now. And Katie's like, I'm so happy for you. I want to like do cartwheels, but I can't. You can tell Katie's drunk right here. Katie in a talking head goes, I feel like I need to be Lala's sex coach here because I know how fun single sex can be. And this is where I'm so damn happy for Katie about like, you know, like I don't attribute this to single sex, but she's glowing. Like if you can't see the difference, there's going to be so much pressure when you're in a type of relationship that they love each other in this way, but they, you know, he doesn't know how to love her properly. And it's like so much weight. So when that weight comes off, it literally is that weight coming off and you just start to look better, move better, feel better. It doesn't mean the psychological scars are not there anymore. It doesn't mean that you don't hurt and you're not in pain and you don't get sad from time to time thinking about those things, you know, because you still have those moments, even where you're just like, oh, I missed this about that person, but whatever. Anyways, so she's like, oh, I'm going to be your sex coach. And I'm like, oh, here we go. We're going to have a Lala and her, like, by the way, I've been doing Lala's vagina as a character on this. What's up? I'm Lala's vagina. Let's go. Put things in me. That's Lala's vagina. What do we call Lala's vagina? Is that little Lala? I'm little Lala. Put things in me. Yeah. Anyways, we're going to flashback to 3 weeks earlier. Ariana gives one of my favorite lines of the season to Katie going, what's it like out there? Is it a cornucopia of delicious dick? And Katie's like, yeah. And I was like, cornucopia of delicious dick. Talk about it like that. That feels like one of those fruit baskets you get, you know, where they always put too much melon in it. You know what I'm talking about? What is that company that does those fruit baskets? But that's what I always think when I think cornucopia. It's always those fruit baskets with way too much melon. Anyways, also, Ariana, you are going to, now I'm like, Ariana's going to find out what this cornucopia is like. Katie's going to potentially have to be her sex coach as well. Katie in the talking head continues, I don't want her to miss out. I want to inspire some dick in her. Now, listen, this is where my old manness comes out. And I don't even have kids. And I'm there. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not too far off from some of these people, but at the same time, I was like, Katie, totally love. Yeah. Encourage all of this. Let's get that dick and let's put things in our vaginas and stuff like that. I'm very happy. But at the same time, we did just meet this guy tonight and, you know, you're in Havasu, you're not from there. And like, you're inviting a stranger into your home. I know I'm a fuddy-duddy. I guess like I haven't really had, I had one night stand once and I felt guilty about it for like ever. And the other person that I had it with, I don't think she felt guilty at all, but I did. I was like, should we get married now? It was like whole thing. Anyways, just a mess. But like, part of me was like, what? Coming over? Why are we encouraging this? Like, can't we, when you get back to Hollywood, come like, I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing again? But anyways, for the show, sure. Anyways, Katie's like, you're going to have some excellent sex. You should do it tonight. And Christina laughs like, hey, no, you don't need to do that. You can just hang out with the guy. And Katie's like, Christina, no, he's not coming over to talk. And this is where I was like, wait a sec. I would be the guy coming over to talk. I'd be like Netflix and chill. I didn't realize what that meant. I literally was like, I thought I was like, there's so much good stuff on Netflix we could watch. It did have to be explained to me years ago. I was like, wait, but there really is good. Like you do want to chill with Netflix. It's really fun. Like you can watch shows on there and move. It's really a fun thing to do. Anyways, Lala's like, oh my God, you're scaring me. Oh my God. And Katie's like, what is she, 18? And Christina's like, yeah, she probably feels like she is. And Lala goes, I haven't had sex with somebody since I conceived my child, which by the way is a hot opening line for any dude, you know, like, guess what? Nothing's been down there since my kid, which also gets into the darkness of Randall and Lala's relationship as well. So Katie goes, this is going to be a really exciting evening for you. And Lala on her talking head goes, I know this may come as a shock, but the sex was not good with my ex, which we know she's joking in this. I do want to point out how interesting Lala is because, you know, I've met her in person and I've talked with her on the show before. And, you know, she comes off, and I was talking about this with Sandra earlier. She comes off on the show. And by the way, she says, I'm all bark and no bite, but then we expect her to do these things at the reunion, like tear into Rocky, Rachel, do it. She's like, I'm going to. And I just think sometimes it's like, well, it's not fun for me if they're very similar. It's just that Lala has a stronger voice and she speaks in talking head, I always call it giving good talking head, and Lala does one of the best talking heads, but to me, it's more Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. To me, it reminds me of a feistier Erica Jane. Like, I would love to see her land for me, and people be like, well, no, on her podcast, she like tells like all of this stuff and who she really is and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I don't listen to the podcast. And I'm just like, to me, it sometimes just rings hollow. So I don't get so much enjoyment from it because let's put digging pussy. Woo! It was just a lot, and I don't mean like kids will have to hear. No, I don't care about that. I just wonder how much of this stuff is real. Here is Foyne. She does Foyne. His Foyne ass is he has some tattoos on the side of his face. He's like, he's smooth. He's like a smooth dude. He's like, hey, what's up? I haven't had an orgasm, a real one that I haven't faked since 2016. Which, by the way, little Lala's like, yeah, we haven't done anything. I've been sleeping since 2016. By the way, also, I truly now would love to ask Lala. I mean, I guess I don't know if legally she can say this, but just like, I remember back in the day watching Lala on Snapchat, back when that was a big thing. But I do find that fascinating because I remember, like, I have a long memory, not a partner that she loved, but I just remember like, oh, I'm very satisfied. I am very satisfied. And it just, by the way, from all accounts, I have some inside information about Randall Emmett, which I can't fully share, but he's still working, producing movies and stuff like that. And he does have a girlfriend. And from my, I have a couple of accounts that they do fight. So he seems like he's just trouble. And by the way, I forgot, Andy was like, oh, to be a producer on one of his movies. Remember when Jax was saying he's like a movie producer? I've produced 3 movies now. Sociopaths. They don't really feel emotions like normal people do. And so by the way, my flirting with Dawn, she's like, you look cute. I like this sweatshirt. And Dawn goes, I had the BJs. But I think we all thought of like, what the fuck, Dawn? You just had a bunch of BJs all over your sweatshirt? Lala was like, ha ha ha. Christina hugs Dawn. Nice to see you again. And then she's like leaning closer to Dawn. She's like, do you have a bee on your ear? And Dawn's like, yeah. I don't. Lala goes, hot. Good for you. And Dawn goes, lots of honey dripping over there. And we're going to do stuff with me tonight. Yeah. Christina goes, okay, good night. And Katie's like, good night. And Dawn's like, good night, guys. Appreciate you. I like when people are like, appreciate you. What do you appreciate you going to bed so I can knock boots with Lala? And Lala's like, we're going upstairs. Come on. And Dawn's like, oh, they all head to their rooms. And that I always think about the poor cameraman. Poor cameraman's like sent to Havasu with these ladies. And he's like, oh my God, do I really have to film Lala squirting all over the bedroom tonight? Like, it just like, this poor guy doesn't get combat pay at all, probably has very little to no health insurance, can't be healthy, I mean, so many crazy things happening. We got just shit coming all over the walls. I mean, just craziness if you think about it. So hats off, salute to that cameraman. So Lala's like, oh my God, you're making me nervous. And Katie's like, I'm not making you nervous, you're making me nervous. And Dawn goes, don't get nervous when it's time to get service. I was like, kick this guy the F out. Are you out of your, kick this dude, get out, Dawn. You're a creep, dude. Don't get nervous when it's time to serve it. Like, what? I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Like, this is so dark. I'm like, and by the way, I don't like, listen, I believe it or not, a heterosexual dude. Is this Dawn hot as Lala says he is? Like, I was in a text conversation earlier with a couple of girls and they were sending me close-ups of Dawn. Is Dawn hot? I couldn't tell. Like, I know he has moves in terms of like that line, don't get nervous when it's time to service, but is there anything, is Dawn the man? Like, is he just like, oh damn, I didn't see it personally, but I know I'm not. Anyways, Lala in a talking head is like, old school Lala was lit. She was in the moment. She lived for her vagina. yeah, live for me, and nothing else. And she was slumbering inside of me. That bitch is awake now. First off, Lala, I swear to God, can we just talk first person just for a little bit, just for like talking heads? I always get confused. Like, who are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about you, but it's you saying it. Like, Ryan is confused. Ryan is doing a podcast right now and he's reading, but he is confused about Lala saying things in the third person. Ryan is so confused. Also, little Lala going, yeah, I'm awake. Woo, let's do shit. No more Randall Fugly Emmett. No more triple chin. Yeah. Katie and Christina go to their room, bury their heads in their pillow and laugh. That was, to me, was one of my favorite parts of this whole scene, because you're just like, this is so goofy and silly, but it does remind me of those sleepovers when some like kind of crazy thing happened, when it was guys night sleepovers and you'd high five because you saw like a little bit of a boob on a Cinemax After Dark thing. My parents never let us have cable, but we had a cable box, and it was back in the old days when you'd have to tune in the cable. Kids, it was a horrible time before technology. And sometimes you get like half a boob up here on the top left and half a boob on the bottom right. But in your mind as a kid, you could piece it together and you'd be like, that's a very hot boob. So anyways, oh, gird your loins, folks. Gird your loins. Oh, wait, now I'm getting that Jax was there. So the next scene brings us to 9 a.m. the next morning in Havasu, and Lala enters Katie's room. We see the Schwartz pinata head in the background, and Lala's like, good morning. I want to get back into bed. And little Lala's like, yeah, let's get some sleep. Katie's like, tell me, Lala. And Lala goes, I just had the best sex ever. Hung like a motherfucking horse. Yeah, I'm hurt down here. Yeah. Katie laughs, like, oh my God. And Lala goes, I was just like, and she spreads her legs and like, you know, puts them way up in the air. Remember, she supposedly did like a handstand and having sex with DJ James Kennedy, which I've, you know, started a new math class just to even figure out how that was possible. But whatever. She was just like, yeah. And, you know, little Lala was like, yeah, we did it like this. Woo. We did it like that. We did it with a wiffle ball bat. Woo. And Lala goes, yeah. Sorry, Lala goes, yeah, whatever. I feel happy. Good, girl, get yours. Lala and I talking, that goes, it's just all really working for the Don. The way he move it. the way he move it. And then she goes a little, she does. Cunnilingus, you guys. That's what she goes. I've got to get the audio of that and just use it in the show. Anyways, Dawn obviously did all the things. And then Lala hits me with this line to me is scarier than all the Nightmare on Elm Streets put together. She goes, I didn't sleep in the bed last night because it was so wet. This is the point where I was like, there's three options, right? Don is exactly who Lala says he is. He is the man, hung like a donkey. I don't know if donkeys are hung, but it's you know, hung like that, goes down on her, does all the sexy stuff, right? And he just nails it so hard that Lala soaks. By the way, this Air fucking B&B better like literally this Airbnb, like they got a flame torch this thing at this point. Like, are you kidding me? Can you imagine the people of the next Airbnb and going, what the fuck is that smell? What is going on? I don't mean Lala, I mean Dom. Why is this bed sticky? Why is this bed not drying? So, okay, so it's either all those things that she really was the most turned on she's ever been in her life and just soaked through an entire bed. The other thought was maybe Lala's a bedwetter. Like, and I'm a former bedwetter. So like, I was like, you know, bedwetting can be sad too. So I was like, maybe she's just like owning that she's a bedwetter. Like, oh, the bed was soaked. But the third thing was like, did Dom pee on her? Anyways, it was just that thought of like, I was waiting for Lala to try to high five Katie of like, up top. Yeah. Awesome. Bed was soaked. Katie's like, are we going to get our deposit back? Lala in the talking head goes, it's kind of making me hot right now. And I was like, oh my God, production, tell Lala to get off that seat right now if you don't want to ruin that seat. Little Lala's like, yeah, it's well, I got some. Little Lala's like, it was like the Titanic. Kate Winslet taking that door, killing Leo DiCaprio. Everything was drowning. I loved it. Fuck you, Randall. Katie goes, well, I'm sure the Mondrian blew big chunks with Raquel, Rachel, Rocky, and Sheena. And Christina's like, did you send those pictures to Schwartz? Did he respond? And Katie's like, uh-huh. What did he say? And Katie reads the message from her phone. He said, at first I was offended. It was always the green Adidas. And Christina's like, oh, they probably got in his head, Lala. I want to know, though, if Raquel chimed in, Lala says, because Raquel thought it was hysterical. Remember when Raquel was like, I am not turned on. So Katie's like, well, why would she suddenly change her mind? Wait a minute. Oh my God. Wow. I forgot who we're talking about. Katie goes. In a talking head, she goes, I think it's a good thing I invited Raquel on this trip because now I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that she fucking sucks and she's not someone I want to be friends with. Guys, Katie's right, though. And Katie saw it firsthand. Like, I sometimes don't understand Lala's behavior towards Raquel. And I think like I said, there's much more in common at this part. And also, you know, people have said, oh, she had a sense from the beginning. She knew. But like, that just doesn't really fly with me a lot. Because if she had that good of a sense, she just didn't like Raquel and Sandoval. But if she had really that good of radar, she would have been able to like realize about Randall. She would have been able to realize, like, you know, she just called it right. She called it right. You know, but I understand Katie's disposition against Raquel so much in this scene, even before the Sandoval, because it's like, yeah, man, I did invite her out and this was my divorce party. And she ends up going back to hang out with the guy I'm getting divorced from. Anyways, we're back in LA and James and Allie, they're going together, very cute, to get their tarot read. And it turns out Allie wants to be a professional, I know I'm going to say this wrong, tarot reader. I think it'll be in the notes here, but she actually does tarot readings. In fact, I'm really thinking about paying money to get my tarot, my astrologies read, my sign, all that shit. Thinking about doing that with Allie just because I'd be so curious if she's good. And then I'd be like, you know, I'd also be like, I wonder if she would be able to predict it. Like, I'm picking up the Knight of Cups says that you're a podcaster for Vanderpump Rules. Anyways, they're going to this place and they go in and Allie's like, we have a tarot card reading today. And they're like, wonderful. What's your name? And Allie's like, Allie and James. And they're like, follow me. And James is like, thank you. This isn't guys night. It's tarot day. Leo, the Oracle card healer, is like, hello, please make yourselves comfortable. And James is like, I was nervous coming in today. I've never gotten a tarot card before. And Leo's like, okay, perfect. She's like very deep into it. So I'm very like open to that because I'm the best boyfriend ever. James in a talking head is like, today was Allie's idea. She talks about astrology all the time. Allie in a talking head goes, my goal one day is to be a full-time astrologer and do readings for a living. My God, Allie, here's my pitch to Bravo right now. I don't care if it's an app show. I don't care that. I want a whole episode, doesn't have to be Vanderpump Rules, but a whole side episode of something else where Allie reads every one of the cast members' tarot. I would love that. James continues in a talking head. Yeah, she read my birth chart before and like every time it's different and it like blows my mind every time. He seems like he's kind of nervous about that, which by the way, I imagine DJ James Kennedy's birth chart is wild. Allie goes, and this is for all you astrology freaks out there, his Venus is in the first house and Sagittarius. So he's just a lover, fiery, like he wants to show off his love. Nailed it. And mine is in the Aquarius in the 12th house of hidden secrets. Some of it more like closed doors. And Leo's like, today I'm going to be doing a couples reading and connect with your higher self. So he's doing all the cards. He's spreading the cards. He's picking the card. Pick a card, pick a card, pick a card. Spirit, move me. Where would you have me go? Situation, challenge, and the best course of action. Thank you. 3 cards. Guys night. No, I'm joking. James, with his eyes closed, starts to smile. Allie remains straight-faced. He goes, okay, so in terms of situation, the Knight of Cups represents water. Water represents emotions and the heart. James leans over and kisses Allie and like playing with her hair during the reading. It's so weird. It's like, I'm going to show how much I love you on camera. Maybe he's like this. I'm going to touch you while this professional man is talking to us. I'm going to do that. You see how much I love this girl. Leo flips the second card. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of mastery. And when you come together, that's like giving birth to new aura. That's like twin flame union. And Allie's beaming at this explanation. James petting her hair still. And James is like, I've never heard the words like twin flame until we've gotten together. Like, I keep hearing that. And Allie's like, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly like said it. So now it's like a popular term. By the way, please have there be a scene where DJ James Kennedy and Allie drink each other's blood under a banyan tree like Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox did. Which, by the way, Camelot has fallen. Word this week that Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are no longer getting married and have potentially separated. So hope you guys are okay. Anyways, Leo turns the third card and it goes, okay, so more cups. It says here that Raquel is going to cheat on you with Sandoval. He was here right all along. We just didn't even pick. No, he goes, this is like walking away from something that does not serve you. And I was like, oh my God, this card means run, Allie, run. You tirelessly put a lot of effort and energy into these relationships and probably have always supported them. And James goes, this speaks to me massively. It almost brings me to tears. By the way, the few times I've spoken with an astrologer or talked about it really does bring you to tears, because I think what it really is too, it's our desperate desire to be understood in this life. Is that when somebody tries to understand you, or, you know, or not even, I think we're so almost scared of it in our real life with real people. But if you go to an astrologer and they tell you something, you're like, it's waterworks, because you're not personally connected to that astrologer usually. So you're like, oh, you got me. The universe knows. And you're so into it. But if somebody in your life tells you, you're like, don't talk to me. You don't know me, please. But it's one of those things. It always has even made me tear up too. We're so funny. Allie goes, his ex is in his friend group, but we're around them a lot. Allie in a talking head goes, I'm not an expert on guys' night, but I do know the main rules. No girlfriends allowed. No current ones, no past ones with their best friend. I mean, by the way, I love that Allie knows the rules. I just wish there was an official rule book. Like, we have the Bible and shit like that. I would love like a rule book for guys and girls. Like, we always talk about like, well, that's the rule book, or like you broke the bro code. Like, what is the fucking code? Like, let's get some shit down put on paper and make it official. Leo continues, it's a reflection. I'm finally ready, even though I've put so much effort here. I'm willing to walk away from them. And James is like, wow. James in a talking head goes, Raquel fucking up not only what I've got going on, but she's fucking up everyone's relationship. She's trying to make out with Schwartz left and right. Katie's not happy about that. Her and Lala in Vegas, toxic as fuck. Oh, and because it's like perfect Raquel, there's no consequences to her actions. Everyone wants to point the finger at me. I mean, let's point the finger at her for 1 second. Which, by the way, what a beautiful soundbite to have now in retrospect, because, this is what I was saying too. Now I really do want to interview DJ James Kennedy someday. Also, just to find out how he wrote the hit song Top Man, but also because I want to know, I don't understand. Like, I want to know, like, what was your normal conversations off camera like? What did you talk about? Was she a big conversationalist? Are you in a relationship a big conversationalist? What did you guys, like, did you share your hopes and dreams? Like, I have it so, like, even though they've been on reality television, I still don't get a picture of any of that. Leo goes, just enjoy the fact that you're good and don't feel guilty about it, okay? And I was like, thank you, wow. And James was like, I love you. And I was like, I love you. We cruise over to West Hollywood to Lisa arriving at Pump. And they're putting down little flower petals on the tables and cutting tomatoes. That's literally, and by the way, the Pump manager is this guy named Memo, which I was like, that'd be so confusing. I'm like, take down a memo. And it's like, that's my name, Memo. He's like, hi, Lisa. And Lisa's like, oh, Tom and Tom here. Yes, they are, Lisa, in the lounge right now because there's some AC in there. You want to sit out here? And Schwartz is like, yeah, we're just chilling in there. Hi, how are you? So this is a Schwartz and Sandoval scene. Memo, can I have a fizzy water with lime? Yeah, what about you guys? I'll do a beer and a frothe, Sandoval says. I'll do a beer and a frothe. First off, drinking around your boss or something like Sandoval, this is a thing of like where he thinks he's on Lisa's level or getting there potentially. Because not only is he ordering one drink, he's ordering 2 drinks. Yeah, I'll take a beer. And also there's something to be like, maybe don't drink at meetings. I don't know. Just a thought. So Schwartz is like, how's it going? And he smells one of the flowers. This is beautiful. Lisa's like, it's going. It's going. Sorry, my voice. I mean, it was crazy with the girls. Yes, crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to get the voice back. Sandoval's like, yeah, I heard that with a lot. I want to talk about business, though. I want to know what you guys have decided. Nigga Lane. We get a flashback to their meeting at Schwartz and Sandy's where Lisa was like, you can have your investment back and we will still give you the option to buy back into TomTom within a year. And Sandoval's like, we both decided we love you and Ken, and we love working with you guys, and we just don't want to do it. I understand. If you don't want to be bought out, I think you need to feel that that's yours. Otherwise, I would offer to buy Greg out. And Sandoval's like, we're going to stick with Greg. We need him. And Schwartz is like, we're going to find a way to get the money. I'm selling my house, and that should keep us afloat until we open the doors. And basically, they go back and forth like, what do you need? 25, 30, 40? It's like an auction. And Lisa's like, that upsets me if you're telling me you need another 50,000 to open. And Schwartz is like, we're having some issues in the back of the house. Our chef is incredibly talented, but he's never run a kitchen before. Even I was like, come on, guy. Like, well, stop it. Like, what? Great cook, just has never done it professionally. Our bartenders are great. They've never done it professionally, but they love drinking. Lisa goes, you're actually making me nervous again now. Are you on track to open on the 22nd? They're like, no, definitely not. And Lisa's like, oh my God, you guys, we can't. We're going to be in Scheana's wedding. Literally get back, and it's 2 days later. We're in the wedding. And Schwartz is like, I would bow out. But Lisa's like, bow out? I will say this. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at it. Of course, there is a show that they're filming, so they kind of have to go to Scheana's wedding. Also, Scheana is their actual friend. But if none of those things were into place, dude, you know, when you have shit going on in your lives, you have to miss some big occasions, right? That's why I'm so pissed about Summer House right now, because these fools just get to like come and go as they please. They don't have to all be there at once anymore on the weekends. But it's like, dude, you're putting all this money. Like sometimes you got to miss important things. But also I want to point out, remember when TomTom opened? They were in like, weren't they in Cancun or something? That was like the Yellow Robes letter with Ariana. Weren't they like fucking? Because remember they got the call of like, they say TomTom is packed right now. There's a line down to Motherlode, the bar right next to it. And that was that episode of opening weekend, supposedly. And they were out for that as well. So it's not, I mean, Lisa shouldn't be that shocked. By the way, I was in that episode of when they were there. We filmed a scene at TomTom, me and Laura Marie Chanos. Just, this pasta is spicy. I had a line. Anyways, Santa was like, yeah, in the wedding. And Schwartz is like, we're trying to walk that line. We're trying to find the sweet spot between being complete doofuses and running a business. He goes, before we run out of money, and also make a fucking undeniable first impression. I know. Don't let it get in the way of getting it done. When I saw that on an Instagram comment the other day, it resonated with me. You saw it? What the fuck are you talking about, man? Lisa's like, why do you need to be perfect? I love Lisa's like, none of my places are. Literally, it smells like shit. It doesn't matter, please. Sandoval's like, well, we don't need it to be perfect, Lisa. This is just a big disagreement between us and Greg. Greg wants everything to be perfect. And Schwartz like, honestly, trying to be perfect might end up costing us everything. So I was like, I don't fucking care what the fuck has to happen. We're opening on the 31st. And Lisa's like, that's what you need. And Sandoval's like, we're opening on the 31st. I'm fucking over it. And all of a sudden, he's all like passionate and fired up. And it's like, wait, what? At least, is this supposed to be like a pep speech? And Sandoval's like, yes. This makes, okay, we're fun. That's it. Lisa said one thing. Now I'm passionate. Now we're doing it, man. 31st. And Lisa's like, but you got to back up that sentiment. Every hour is important because every day costs you money. Lisa and I talking head, I've been telling them forever. They just need to open the doors. Just get it ready. Do whatever it takes. Work 24/7. It's very important. They understand. Unless they open the doors, they're going to lose everything. I'm like, Lisa, you don't even pay your bills half the time on some of your restaurants from what I read. Are you kidding me? I mean, Lisa's a cutthroat businesswoman, man. But I'm like, it is one of those funny things. It's like, Schwartz, you did like, I mean, it's not the reason your relationship ended, but your relationship did end. Like everything should have been focused on this fucking bar once it started opening. Anyways, they're like, we're opening on the 31st. And Lisa's like, why don't you tweet it? Put it out there now. Thank you, Lisa. Tweet it. And Schwartz is like, should I do a little post right now? And Sandoval's like, yes, do it. I'll repost it. And Lisa's like, put yourself on social media naked. Go on One Only or whatever it's called. And Schwartz is like, OnlyFans? Yes, I'll offer at least $50. I want to see your butthole. Sandoval. Then we cut to a montage of everyone waking up. Sandoval is opening up the cabinet in that Valley Village house that we see on the mid-season trailer when he's like, do you want anything after I cheated on with you, Raquel? And she's like, I want you to die. He's like, do you want foam on your latte? And Ariana giggles. She's like, I love my lattes. And Sandoval's like, I know, they love you too. So dark. At James and Allie, James is chopping up veggies, and Allie's like, you're a housewife. He's like, what? Guys night. And then we're at Schwartz, and there's just, he picks up a slipper, smells it, and throws it back in the box. Hot stuff. At Scheana and Brock's Marina Del Rey mansion, Sheena's like, last night we missed our daily review. We need to just check in with each other. They have a grid on their refrigerator of daily things to get done with check marks. I'm such a sucker for this kind of shit, you guys. Like, I love lists. I don't do them a lot of the times, but I love making them. I have like an app called To Do, I think, something. And it it's called Done. And it's like this tracker, and it says, weigh myself, brush teeth in the morning, check Google Calendar, meditate, write in journal, write happy birthdays on Facebook, make bed like Carl from Summer House, check bank balance, shower, take vitamins, moisturize, listen to a podcast, text my mom, text my dad, read. I have all of these things. Anyways, Brock is, he's kind of a motivational guy. He's like, the goal of this isn't just to set unrealistic expectations. We brush our teeth. He always sounds like a little leprechaun, even though I know he isn't and doesn't sound like that. And Sheena's like, you did the brush our teeth? I don't forget that. And these are the items on the list. Thank you to Juliana Carrazza for writing these down. Brush teeth, daily gratitude, run 2 miles, walk with Summer, ice bath, read 10 pages, masturbate, vicious. I'm just joking. Breakfast, meditate, stretch, content, possibly for Sheena's podcast, lunch, make bed, walk, gym, 1 minute kiss, 1 minute kiss, work window, daily review, Cole Mum is the last one. And Brock's like, a minute to kiss. We did a half a tick there. And she's like, a minute to kiss? That's a long time. Brock's like, that's the most action we give each other. And Sheena in a talking head goes, the wedding's coming up in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. At my first wedding, I was in denial. I was trying to convince everyone that everything was perfect because I wanted to convince myself that it'll eventually be fine. And that's Sheena's wedding to Mike Shea. And we get that flashback of Sheena going, you're stuck with me. And Shea's like, you're stuck with me. And she's like, yeah, but that's a good thing. You're stuck with me. And Sheena continues in the talking head until I found out he was buying drugs again. And then it wasn't fine. So dark. Brock's looking at the review board, goes, let's finish off that minute kiss. Let's do it. And Sheena's like, check. And yeah. And then they kiss once again, the poor cameraman, but at least the cameraman wasn't in risk of flooding out of the room like he was with Lala's scene. Sheena, by the way, they have her, there's a big painting over her couch that they've blurred out. And I was like, why did they blur out that painting? I've got to ask Sheena. I was like, I think it's probably just like a picture of her and Brock or something, but why did they blur it out? Sheena says, but now going into this wedding was just pure joy and excitement and feelings of love. Like, this is it. This is my forever. Sheena's phone rings, and it's Jamie Lynn, who was on the podcast last week, her best friend. And she's like, Jamie, what's going on? What? No, there's no way. It's totally sold out. Because if you had to go get to a different hotel, then you'd have to pay like an off-property fee every day. And that's just not happening. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Bye. And Sheena goes, Brock, apparently the resort is fully sold out. She's like, do I need to book another resort? I'm like, no, hold on. I'm texting Shelly right now. Okay, obviously Jamie is one of my bridesmaids. She needs to be there with me the whole time. Sheena in a talking head goes, this is really stressing me the fuck out, and I don't need this 2 weeks before my wedding. So is Katie coming? And Sheena's like, she already paid for her room. Yeah. Well, let her know that it's very difficult. The resort's sold out, but buy her room back. Be nice about it. And Gina's like, I mean, obviously, like, we're not talking, so I don't want to call her. She probably wouldn't even take my call or return my text. Sheena and I talking head, there's going to be something I can do. Maybe call the resort myself, pull the angry bride card, call someone like at TSA and get her on the do not fly list. I feel like we have options. That's dark. Like literally like, she's like, I could have convinced TSA that Katie's a terrorist. Like that is dark. And Brock's like, honestly, I think if we gave Katie money, it'll be cool. And she was like, I think so too. Here's your money. Give me the room. I do want to present this idea too, because a lot of people I've read about talking about, well, come on. Katie didn't have to go. That's, you know, she doesn't like Scheana. Why is she going to be there? And Katie's like, dude, I paid $1,000. It's a big resort. It's who cares? But also I just want to present the idea that, remember, this is a show. Now this tension that's there is very real. But also I have a feeling the production was like, no, Katie, you're still going. Like, you're still going to be there. You're still going. We are doing a show. Like, I do believe like I said, they create the iron cage and they just put people in it and they make you can't get out. And so I don't think this is, I mean, it might be a little bit spiteful on Katie's part. And the more people that don't want her to go, it might make her want to go even more. But I also think production's like, no, we do want you there. I could be wrong. Anyways. We're now back at Ariana's Tom's house. We hear a cat yowling and by the way, shout out to production for getting a nice shot of a cat gacking on a hairball. Wild. And she's like, oh, a hairball, which by the way, I just imagine the cat like probably knew about Tom at this point and was like trying to warn Ariana through hair. She's like, oh, poor kitty. Oh my gosh. Then the production gets a nice shot of the hairball because, to be honest, I've never owned a cat. And I always thought hairballs was like a Garfield. Like it was like, oh, that crazy Garfield. He loves lasagna and he has hairballs sometimes. I didn't realize like cats really do. You know, the more I do this podcast, the more I realize I really don't know how anything works. Like it's shocking. Like I'm always like, oh, I thought that was a complete joke. And it turns out to be true. Anyways, Katie enters the house and this whole scene is, well, first off, Ariana invites her to the pool party. He's like, who's going to be there? And it's like, well, you know, Schwartz, Scheana, Raquel. And Katie's like, perfect, rolls her eyes. And she's like, no, everyone's invited. And Katie's like, okay, but we have bigger things to worry about. We gotta figure out this business, something about her. And Katie's like, we got to find a location. We have to find investors. We got to raise the money. And Ariana and I talking heads like, Katie and I are working really hard to get our sandwich shop off the ground. And we don't have a location yet. We have a mood board and we worked on our business plan with Lisa. And we get 6 weeks earlier. Lisa's like, don't put any money out. You see the muddle those boys are in. And Ariana's like, well, that's why we wanted to have these projections, these numbers, and do all of this before we lock ourselves into a location the way they have and then be stuck. Like, I legitimately think, like, honestly, I legitimately think this could be, it's like a different business with sandwiches and drinks, but I think it could be, I mean, I really think this could be potentially more successful just because I think they can get it off the ground with way less money than these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Katie and Ariana, even though I think it would be fun, I don't think they're going to have to do mushrooms to like, oh, then we're going to have like a mirror, like a funhouse mirror. And then we'll have a strobe light where it like creates you to like kind of have like a vomitose feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to have to do any of that. I think they're just going to like, they're kind of put some, you know, I don't know. Anyways, Ariana continues, we just need money. They greet this business consultant, Sabina, where, you know, they're talking about why are you doing this? You know, people connect to the human being versus the concept, which is totally true. Like, I even think with this kind of stuff, it's like sometimes in doing it or when I really listen to podcasts before I did one, it's like you connect with the person doing it a lot of the times. It's the content, sure, you know, and some people have both. Like, I don't think this is a high concept idea so bad it's good. You know, it's pop culture. It's everything I love. What I think that might make it a little different is me. Like, we all, our personalities, we're each, you know, beautiful. Like, there's just beautiful butterflies. We're all just different. But, you know, I was thinking about like other podcasts, like Beyond the Blinds with Troy McKeady and Laguna Biatch Kelly. You know, that's a great idea for a podcast. It's a great concept. So there, I think it works like great concept, reading celebrity blinds, talking about it, all of that stuff, you know, hits that pop culture niche. But then you also really like Troy and Kelly. It's like both. It's like the person and the concept. The same thing with Celebrity Memoir Book Club with those two girls and the concept. Great concept, and you like the girls, you know? So anyways, Sabina's like, start with the background. People connect to the human being. And Katie's like, well, the sandwich shop space in the world is very male dominated. And you know, if you think about it, you can just name them. Tony's Uncle Paulie's, Firehouse Subs, Jimmy John's, Papa John's. And Samina's like, the whole business world is male dominated. And Ariana's like, people who want to come to us are going to be coming for something completely different. And Ariana's like, we do have a ton of experience in the restaurant industry. I have a successful cocktail book that Tom Sandoval tried to mooch off me, and I've been a mixologist for 15 years. And Katie's like, I grew up in a restaurant. My mom ran a restaurant. So from the time I was young, this is like a full circle moment. I'm meant to do this, which, by the way, how dare you not post those waitress, little tiny Katie waitress pics that you did a couple episodes ago? I love those. And Sabina's like, that gave me, like, my nipples just fully got hard. That is just, I got chills when you said that. Katie in the Talking Head goes, Tom and I organically came up with the idea of a sandwich shop, but he decided to open a bar with Sandoval instead, but I still love it and I want to carry on with it. By the way, if they were still married and they did have a sandwich shop, okay, I've thought of it. It would be called Bubba's and Bread, or Bread and Bubba's. Bread and Bubba Breads. Bread Bubba's? Anyways, I'm glad that's because I like something about her way more. So anyway, Sabina's like, you are literally meant to do this. Katie continues in a Talking Head. It's a sandwich shop owned by two hot women that serves great drinks. I mean, someone get Mark Cuban on the phone. And by the way, Juliana, who's taking those notes, I know Shark Tank, Julia. I was a huge Shark Tank fan for a long time. Katie goes, we're still looking for locations, and they do have one 5 doors down from SUR that Lisa told them about at 640 North Robertson. It's about 750 square feet. We see it. I know this place. I've walked by it many times, and it has a kitchen in the back. They wouldn't have to put money in it. It really does look perfect for what this is. And they're like, it's second generation. We wouldn't put all that money into it. And Sabina's like, you're selling me on the space. And I think they got it. So, I mean, I know they got it. So what is really exciting to think about Katie and Ariana, like, going on with their lives now without these dolts. And you know, I think women sometimes do things so much better and easier than men do. I'm not saying women are, I'm not saying any of that stuff. So I'm just saying that, like, they don't complicate things with business. I don't know. I'll think more about this. Anyways, by the way, I do want to, at this point, this is my pitch to the ladies of There's Something About Her. I do this podcast, right? I watch a lot of TV. I need to get out with I need to get out with the people. I got some stuff going on with my mom, so I'm back and forth to Arizona a lot, but I would like to make you this offer. Let me work at There's Something About Her. Something About Her. Let me work at Something About Her. I could be in the back. I could just take out the trash and shit like that. I'll work for minimum wage or less. You can pay me under the table. We don't even need to involve the government in this. And I would love, like, by the way, I forgot back in the day before I had this podcast, before the pandemic, like, I used to volunteer at Vanderpump Dogs. I forgot about that until right now. I volunteered, and you would just do like 4-hour shifts, and you would walk the dogs and play with them. And it was like a lot of fun. It was great. In the bathroom, there were like this huge painting of Lisa Vanderpump. Of course there was. I think I got to go find those pictures. It was like 2017. Oh my gosh. I got to shave my beard too. This thing is looking rough. But anyways, I want to work at Something About Her. I do. I want to work at Something About Her. I'm offering my services. I'll do grunt work, but this would be exciting. It would get me out of the house too. I think that would be great. So it's evening. We're at SUR. Raquel is on shift, and so is Charlie. And Charlie's like, would anyone know if I even polished these glasses? No, Charlie. No, they wouldn't. And now I know you probably don't do that. Raquel catches James passing through. It's like, hey, James, I just noted that you left the laundry out early and wanted to check in with you and make sure you're okay. I'm good. I'm good. It's not like my girlfriend was there. You know, I never want her to feel uncomfortable in that sense. I like DJ James being a great boyfriend now. He's like, I want to tell you, Raquel, that I'm a good boyfriend now. I don't want to do any of the things I did to you, to her. Raquel's like, but like, we'll be around each other, and there'll be instances where Allie probably won't be around. And I'm good. I mean, I don't know if she's going to the pool party this week at Tom Sandoval's or not. I haven't heard about a pool party there. Well, you're invited. Tom Sandoval told me. Oh, he did? That's weird. We go into a talking head. Now, to think they can just like kick me out and bring Raquel in. I'm fucking James Kennedy, and I've been the life of this fucking party for the past fucking 8 fucking years. Like, it's fucking bullshit. And then James to Raquel goes, well, have a good night. Hope you make lots of tips. And Raquel goes, thanks. It's so bizarre. Also, I don't want to rewrite history. I find DJ James Kennedy hysterical, charming, fun to watch, but he's also so toxic. Hopefully he'll break out of that at some point. Around the corner at Katie and Ariana are popping into Tom Tom. Katie's like, I haven't been here in a minute. And Logan, by the way, Logan, Ariana's best friend. I love Logan. Logan's like, hi, guys. How are you? What are you all drinking? And they're doing drink orders. And Ariana's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And Logan's like, what's tomorrow? I'm having a pool party. I'd love for you to be there. Am I invited? Obviously, we need some pool culture. And Logan's like, pool culture. And Ariana's like, hands out of the pool, dry hands. And then Logan's like, so they don't get pruny. That's pool culture, which they are really like, they have cute friend things they do. I thought this was cute. It's like, okay, I got you. By the way, Logan really is one of the best waiters. Like, he just makes everybody feel good. I've been to Tom Tom on multiple occasions, had him as my waiter. He's been so nice to my mom. And then my mom actually brought up Logan the other day, but I didn't want to text him during the Ariana stuff. I texted him here and there, but my mom even brought, like, I just saw Logan on TV. He was a really nice guy to everybody. Also, Juliana left a note here for me because she's talking to Ariana about the details of the place, and she thinks that Lisa is helping the girls more than I think, and she's very fond of them too. She may not be throwing money at them, because I really thought it was funny on Watch What Happens Live, where Lisa's like, oh, I don't need to invest in every little business that anyone comes on. But Lisa, she says, they're big girls and have to figure it out on their own. But Lisa's probably an integral part to them being able to get the space a few doors down. Hopefully, I really do hope that is true. I really do want that to be true. And I do know she, Katie, I remember, used to be her assistant as a storyline many seasons ago before the wedding. So I hope so. So anyways, she says, Jamie drafted out a letter of intent and sent it off, and Lisa's smiling big. Goosebumps. It's getting real. Shit's getting real. And Katie's like, we're matching the other offer for a buyout, and hopefully the other offers, they're like losers. We're more appealing. So it's only 100 yards down the road. You're going to be the neighbor. Lisa's like, I'm going to come over and ask to borrow sugar and money, and then I'm going to burn it down for insurance. You're still children to me. Lisa goes, I love their energy and ambition. I remember these girls when they were literally kids. And then we get a flashback to 2012, where Katie's talking about Peter and Tom. And we see Sandoval in a scene with Ariana going, welcome to Thur. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can tell you're pretty excited. Lisa continues in a talking head. I almost wish Tom and Tom had come to me sooner. I feel that maybe we could have shown them clarity, and now it's a little too late. Lisa's like, are you going to Mexico? Are you going to the wedding? And Katie's like, I'm not going to the wedding. No, I spent $1,000 on a hotel room that I cannot get back. The last time I checked, Mexico is a really big place. Are you going on your own? No, I'm going to bring Christina Kelly with me. It's her birthday that week. And Ariana's like, okay, so there might be an issue with this, because I guess the hotel is completely sold out. And Katie's like, but my room's already booked. And Ariana's like, yeah. But I mean, I guess they're like at capacity for the hotel. And I guess Jamie Lynn, something happened with her deposit, so she has to stay at a different resort now, and she's a bridesmaid. They won't let her stay with someone else. By the way, Jamie Lynn, I think, proved all of this on her Instagram stories, because people said this was fake. Lisa's like, who said this? And Ariana's like, Sheena did. Oh, Sheena did. And Ariana's like, yesterday, yeah. Katie in the talking night goes, it sucks that Sheena's bridesmaid didn't book her room, and she was bullying all the rest of us to do it. But these are not my problems. I will say, I think the first time I did Shenanigans, Sheena's podcast, they were talking about the wedding invitation, because it was also the Stas. I remember them talking, this is off mic. They were talking about Katie not being happy about it, but they were like texting or something. Like it was like when the season was filming or about to film. I just remember this being very real, and I was like a fly on the wall, because I was just cracking up. I was thinking to myself, I was like, Sheena really lives this shit, man. Sheena lives this shit nonstop. She is, she's always in drama. Like I was like, this is wild. Like I'm watching an episode of Vanderpump Rules. So Aaron, I was like, well, I guess it's like all inclusive, the food and the beverage and whatever. And Katie continues in a talking head. I called the hotel and made sure that Christina Kelly could be added to my room. And they said, no problemo. Lisa's like, when are you going to see her next then? And they talk about the pool party. And Lisa's like, I'll be there in my thong, baby. We're at Tom and Ariana's house the next day for the pool party. They are making preparations for the party. Schwartz and Sandoval are there. By the way, Schwartz, no Crocs really look great on anybody, but Schwartz has some of the worst Crocs, the shoes that I've ever seen. It's like a rainbow, like it's like somebody threw a rainbow up on shoes. I don't know. Anyways, it's like Lala after a night with Dawn. Yeah, put it in me. Schwartz is like, dude, are you busting out the foam gun? He's like making foam on drinks. He's like, you can't have a pool party at my house without some cocktail foam. And they're trying it. And Sandoval's like, it's insane. We zip over to Raquel's apartment in North Hollywood. Sheena's spreading out a bunch of suits. And Sheena's like, I got so many new bathing suits like these ones. I love in theory, but I'm just not confident. And Raquel's like, I'm just not stomach ready. They're so tiny. I know. That's why I would wear this sweatshirt. Over at Katie's apartment, Katie, Lala, and Christina are getting ready. And Lala's like, I'm not talking to Raquel tonight. Like, that bitch is insane. She was cool at first. Then she got fucking weird. And little Lala's like, yeah, she's weird. It's like, that's Raquel. Raquel's the girl. Everyone's like, yeah, she's real hot. But like, don't let her open her mouth because you'll want to run. Back at Ariana and Tom's house, their friend, bartender Matt, the Schwartz and Sandy's bartender, is in the kitchen mixing drinks. DJ James Kennedy walks in. We got Brad, one another, Ariana's best friends, Logan, and James goes, knock, knock. Why is this such a mess? I thought we were having a party. Guys night. Sheena and Ariana, you look so cute. This is what you wear when you're a mom and go to a pool party, referencing her suit with a little more coverage. And this is what you wear when you're single and go to a James. And take note, he's in the background, not getting involved with all the Raquel attention, but he's like looking. And George's like, all right, I got this. Me and Matt are bartending. James walks away from them. He's on the phone texting Ali. I love you, Ali. Have a good night at work. Doing us before during like a hot summer. He wears this little half. People thought that Raquel and I made out at Coachella. Well, supposedly this is the guy. I don't remember seeing this guy, but he has really big abs. And they showed a picture of it too. In Paris, my new favorite show. Like a joke about Emily in Paris. And Schwartz like, hi, Bob. How are you? I'm doing well. Is that you? He hugs Katie, Raquel, and Sheena. They don't look at them. And Matt goes, no, that smells delicious. And Schwartz goes, pickles are delicious. But Katie's like, I don't smell like pickles. Wedding stuff, Sheena? And she's like, yeah, the resort is completely sold out. And some people are now screwed. Like one of my bridesmaids, Sheena, in a talking head goes, at my first wedding, I had Mean Girls Stassi and Christina Kelly making fun of my dress and my makeup. This is the thing that sucks or is great for the audience that they have all of this on tape because we flash back to 2014. Stassi is sifting through photos on Christina's phone of Sheena's wedding dress. And Stassi's like, that is quinceañera. By the way, Juliana writes, Ryan, quinceañera is a Spanish celebration of a girl's 15th. Raquel, Rocky, Rachel, for what she said to me, I can't have these weak links. And it's like wearing a fucking scarlet letter. We flash back to 2012 with the scene with Brandi Glanville from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where Sheena's like so young. And she's like, I feel hurt too. This guy, Eddie Cibrian, makes me fall for him. And then I found out he has a wife and kids. And Brandi just looking at her and goes, I don't care. I mean, look at where you are in your life. And I'm such a better place. I win. This is where I got to say, life is long, you guys. Life is long. Because, I mean, listen, we're now, what, 10 years, 11 years later. And I saw Brandi the other day in one of her Instagrams. And I was just like, man, I don't know, but what a weird situation. What a weird universe. What a weird Bravo universe. Sheena continues in a talking head. Here we are in 2022, and I'm still a home-wrecking whore. Lala goes, if I cared about what someone like Raquel Leviss thought of me, I'd be at the bottom of the barrel. You want to be a troll? Then I'm going to treat you like a troll, and don't act shocked when I do it. And they show us Raquel looking at them and rolling her eyes like, the party is rolling into high gear, folks. Food is being cooked on the BBQ. Drinks are flowing. Everyone's hanging out back at the pool. Brad, it says Raquel's friend under this. This is funny. Brad, one of Ariana's best friend. It says Raquel's friend under this. Brad, I put this in my story, says Brad tagged me in it, which is funny. I always don't know how you can tag stories and you don't see the name. But anyways, Brad tagged me in this, so I reposted it. But I just wanted everybody, like, this is, Brad was like, I'm definitely not Raquel's friend. And it's like, he was friendly with Raquel, but he's Ariana's best friend. Raquel squeals like, I'm sorry for getting tanning lotion on you, tanning oil on you, Brad. And Brad's like, I still love you. Sandoval's standing with them, still wearing his white nail polish. He's like, I think it's my Town. And they all laugh. It's so weird. It's just the whole... James is like, so for your actual wedding day, he's talking to Sheena, what kind of time will I have to be away from Ali? Because Ali's not invited. I just want to tell her what the plan is. And she's like, yeah, I want her to feel a little more confident because she's a boyfriend and stuff. And she was like, I think it's just like 6 to 11. Yeah. And James and Antonio goes, I feel like the whole friend group is backing. I don't get invited to the pool party right away. Secondly, Sheena's not invited Ali to the wedding. They think they get to dictate who. Oh my God, Ali couldn't come. I've been a little concerned about it, Sheena. After party, the welcome party. And James was like, so I wasn't excluded in any of that? No. Okay, cool shit. And she's like, yeah. Lala, back to her, goes, are we going out after this or are we going to go home? The Don stuff. Why can't we go to Don's place? That's my main question. Does Don not have a place? Yeah, the Don lives in a. I shit you not. By the way, Juliana, you didn't include this line, but thankfully I caught it. I think you go in your guest room and she goes, Lala goes, I would spray all over that room. Yeah, it's me, little Lala. She talks like she belongs at guys' night. Guys' night. That's what we talking about. Spraying all over room, getting dick, getting vagina, everything. Lala and Antonio goes, mentally, I'm not in a place to. I looked at my dog. Mentally, I'm not in a place to be in a relationship. I have too many things that I have to focus on. I just want to be around someone who seems pretty effortless. And the Don gives me just that, as well as an orgasm on top. Yeah, me too. In the backyard, Brock yells, get. James is like, so what happened with you, Raquel? And like, did Sheena and you make up yet? Because I got to the Mondrian, your place, and all that, cha-cha-cha. And Lala's like, she's a fucking idiot. And James is like, all right. And Lala want me to call you. What's going on in front of you? And Raquel's like, I'm not dumb, Lala. First of all, I just grabbed. She was like, oh, she said you're weak. She just told me that. And I said, no, she's not. She's not weak. I think Lala's pathetic. She's like, I agree. Lala's inside the house. She goes, I don't give a fuck what more do this. And Katie's like, I wish you were on the trip. And Christina's like, I wish you were there. And Ariana's like, well, would you guys have made fun of me if I was like, Lala and Christina gave the mean girl treatment to Raquel like they've given to other people in the past. And that's the thing. And Lala, I just really, it bites my ass about it, chaps my ass by, I don't know, something we just think she would be so different, but she just like, remember when she was like talking shit against Ariana too? Like, it's just wild. And that's what bums me out. Like, anyways, Ariana's like, I'm not down with like the mistress comment, but I do feel like there's some unresolved shit about you and the James stuff. And Lala goes, we moved on. She moved on. And Katie's like, she needs to get her head checked. And Ariana's like, no. And by the way, Sandoval in his little tiny sweater comes up. Logan's there too. And Sandoval's now nosed in. He's like, that's unfair, Katie. And Ariana's like, Tom, I'm walking away because I'm not doing the Tom against the girl. Katie goes, we had an entire day and everything like that. And then I had full whiplash. And so this is what I'm saying about getting your head checked, because I thought, and Lala's like, Raquel goes, sorry. Lala goes, are you here to partake in the conversation? Lala literally like, she pauses. Lala goes, I would cheat again. Invent a time machine and I would go back and have handstand sex with Lala and little Lala. Yeah, yeah. By the way, do we have confirmation if Lala had an orgasm with DJ James Kennedy ever? Would inquiring minds want to know. Raquel goes, you're a bully. You're fucking pathetic. I don't need this energy in my life, Lala. I've learned my lesson with James and I'm finally learning my lesson with you. And if you guys are going to be like, and she's like trying to say, like a little chihuahua followers. She kind of has a little chihuahua voice. Katie's silent but grinning. She's like literally, I'm done. Just as an acting coach, she could have sold this way better. But she's standing up for herself. She's encouraged to stand up for herself, and she's doing that. James taps Raquel and whispers, why are you mentioning me still? I did nothing wrong. It's so funny. It is so fucking funny. Raquel goes, Lala brought it up to me a few weeks ago. How do you expect us to even be cool? Like, I'm putting in such a good effort, Raquel. And every time I turn my head or hear you, you're talking negatively about me. You don't need to put me in the same boat as everything all the time, okay? Do you even understand how it affected me emotionally, knowing that you guys have kept this secret from me for years? I'm not proud of all that. I'm not. Which, by the way, I guess he's like, but did I tell you about the time machine? Ariana to the group goes, okay, I feel like at this point, I need this to be squashed today. Raquel to Lala goes, we will never be friends. And Lala goes, okay, that's fine. We'll never see eye to eye. All right, you told me this. Are you done? Are you finished? I'm so bored. You said it 6 times. Are you done? Raquel's like, you literally like, and Lala looks away to Katie and goes, oh my God, is she still going? This is just so high school. Raquel goes, You give off Mistress Bimbo vibes, and I cannot stand it. And Lala goes, oh my God. And Sheena's like, you guys should both. And she finally stomps off. And Ariana's like, stop. And she releases a huge annoyed sigh. I mean, this is Raquel, like, for saying this. It's like, it isn't funny how we all become what we don't want to become. We all become the thing that haunts us. Like, Lala's haunted Raquel for so long, you know, this Mistress Bimbo, and now you're a Mistress Bimbo. It's so wild. And, you know, I think women self-reflect a lot more than men do, and we do let men way off the hook. It'll be really interesting to see what the men have to say at the reunion. Anyways, Raquel and I talking, and goes, I honestly feel like I've leveled up from this girls' trip. Wow. Because a lot of my motivation in life has been to be liked by other people. So the fact that I'm facing Lala Kent, I'm loving the new version of me. And guys, at this point, I shit you not, she dabs. Boom! She hits it with a dab. The dab, you guys, was a very popular sensation in 2017, I believe, where my little nephew and niece were doing it. I don't know if in 2023 where the dab really, in fact, I was kind of like, oh my God, did she just dab? Like, I was like, oh, remember the dab? Remember dabbing? But it was really embarrassing. Like, I wonder if that's like somehow where she's like Arrested Development. Like, that's the last year she stopped growing as a person. It's so embarrassing. Sandoval, you're with somebody who dabs, and Sandoval, you're Sandoval. So that's now embarrassing as well. Burn. But anyways, I like this line of, my motivation in life has been to be liked by other people. And that's why you've got to, like, girl, you probably, well, who knows? Maybe you will listen to this. Look at you now, man. You are one of the most unliked people. Now, it is not just your fault. Obviously, Sandoval is the lion's share of this, but you're taking a big brunt of it because we really don't know who you are. We've known Sandoval throughout the years. It's shocking to us for Sandoval. We still don't know who you are in a lot of ways. So you're bearing the brunt of this. But if you want to be liked, you really do need to self-reflect and like go to therapy and do all those things you said in one of your PR apologies. Because if you want to be liked, this is not good for you. I see the people that defend you. I see the people that like you. And some of the my dog just, some of those people are really scary. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. We see Raquel, the only female in the crowd at the party, and Sandoval's one of them, throwing down a shot in the backyard. And James is inside. What was the ending of that whole conversation, Lala? And Lala goes, her parting words were that I'm a bimbo. And Christina's like, a mistress bimbo. Mistress bimbo. I haven't heard the word bimbo since. And James goes, since Jessica Simpson and Dukes of Hazzard. That movie really spoke to a certain generation. Like, I did not expect DJ James Kennedy to be like, yes, Johnny Knoxville, Jessica Simpson, Dukes of Hazzard, dab. Cameras keep flashing shots of Raquel standing around others with her hands on her hips and rolling her eyes. Lala goes, yeah, I was a young kid. You should make everyone a round of shots, Matt. And James goes, is there some water? And Matt's like, yeah, water, of course. And Lala goes, I take shots of water often because I'm feeling myself. Sheena goes, what about this hotel issue? Because, like, Katie, you don't want to be in Mexico to support Brock and I. You know, the room is non-refundable. Do you still want to go on a vacation, have a vacation? I'm not disinviting you from doing that. It's just stay at a different resort. And Katie's like, well, I'm going to go to Mexico, and it's her birthday, Christina Kelly, so we're celebrating. She goes, yeah, but she can't come, Katie. The resort's actually sold out. And Katie's like, oh, no, I already talked. Sorry, this line is sorry. Anyways, Katie's like, it's a big resort. And she's like, so I just don't know why you'd want to come when you don't want to support me and Brock. And Katie's like, because I like Mexico and I'm entitled to go. And she was like, then stay at a different resort. I can't get the money back. And she goes, I will Venmo you $1,000 right now. So don't say it's about the money because I'm fixing that problem right now. And they just stare at each other like a Mexican standoff. Or would you say a quinceañera? That actually doesn't make any sense. And Sheena goes, we'll see about that. And Sheena gets up and walks away. And Katie's like, huh? We'll see about what? Sheena stops out in the backyard and goes, dude, your ex-wife is pathetic. I'm sorry. And Schwartz is like, what did she say exactly? And she's like, I don't care. I want to go to Mexico and I'm going. Katie's inside watching Sheena go off outside. And she's like, she's bringing a friend. She's having a vacation. She doesn't give a fuck what I want. I don't want her energy around me at all. Okay, I got an idea. I'm going to tell her I'm getting back together with her if she stays at the other resort. Now, I know Schwartz is joking, but this is such a fucking tactless joke. You don't, like, like, what a fucking, like, I'm going to tell her I'll get back together with her because she's dying. Like, it seems like Katie's doing okay, man. Dude, what a gross. Raquel with her hand on her hips, like, don't tell your soul, Schwartz. I mean, it's also not your responsibility. You're not with her anymore. And George's like, but also, I'm a groomsman, and I'm so fucking honored to be one that I do have to do something. By the way, in a couple scenes earlier, Schwartz told Lisa, I want to maybe bail on it. Raquel goes, that's true. And Brock goes, that's not hard to ask. And Ariana goes, what if we just say, what's your price, Katie? Ariana goes back and Katie, what's your price? What? And Katie's like, no, we're going to Mexico. That's happening. That's just what's happening. That's it. And Christina goes, we're not going to be there like with binoculars. They show a 2 weeks into the future shot of them on the balcony in Mexico as they watch Sheena and her dad walk down the aisle. And Christina's like, we got really good seats for this wedding. And Katie's like, what if they can see us? Which they totally can. Like, I mean, this is such a setup shot because you can see a camera crew from like, trust me, it's very staged, that part. Schwartz now in front of Katie goes, there's a solution. There's a beautiful fucking resort right next door. And Katie goes, yeah, that the guests can go there. And Schwartz in a talking head goes, Katie's stubbornness. It's one of my least favorite qualities about her. What do you think Katie's least favorite quality about Schwartz? Do you think it's the cheating? Was the cheating? What do you think it was? Maybe, I don't know. I get so many things. Schwartz goes, Bob. I hate, like, Bob. I'm still going to call you Bob. This is objectively out of line. You're in the wrong here. It's not a gray area. 100%. And Katie's like, I can't. No, I'm not in the wrong. I'm not in the wrong. I'm going on vacation. I've already paid for it. And Schwartz continues in a talking head. Oh, once Katie makes up her mind, there's really no turning back, even if it means hurting the people around her. And Lala goes, the bottom line is Katie's going to Mexico. She can stay wherever she damn wants. The entire resort isn't there for Sheena's wedding. If she's focused on Katie's energy over the fact that she's getting married, that's on her. But I think it'd be cool to be the bigger person for once you're there. And Lala goes, I think it'd be cool for Katie to think about Katie for once. And Schwartz goes, she thinks about Katie a lot. And Lala goes, I disagree with you. Okay. Sheena tried to have Schwartz make out with Raquel, so I think she should probably let Katie stick to her plan. And Schwartz goes, okay, if you don't want to do it for Sheena, do it for your business partner, Ariana. Do it for your friend. And Ariana's like, oh my God, don't say that. And Katie's like, what I do, whatever the fuck I want to do. How about that? Too bad, so sad. Schwartz like, you've got to stop rhyming thing. You've got to stop being so emotionally entitled. The most emotionally entitled. And he walks out in the backyard. And Ariana's like, I don't know what those words mean put together, what Schwartz just said. And Lala goes, you're going to Mexico because I want you there. Kate in a talking head, sad, goes, Schwartz taking everyone else's side over me was a big reason why I asked for a divorce. And I thought that maybe now that the pressure to defend his wife was gone, he could treat me like everyone else. No, I guess not. I guess it's not a wife thing. It's just a Katie thing. That's so fucking sad to keep getting that lesson again and again and again. Katie gets up and leaves. Schwartz chases her. Bob, Katie, don't leave. Don't leave. Bob, come here, Bob. Katie, you're being stubborn. Katie, Tom, stop. I don't want you. I want an apology from her. Yes. For what? For what? For meddling. She didn't meddle. Tom, stop. Okay, whatever. Tom, stop. I know, but come on. Stop. They are bad together. I mean, and it's just so gross. Like, Tom just doesn't get it. Like, Lala Ariana goes, I just think she wants to go to Mexico and I'm there and we're extremely close. And like, honestly, selfishly, I would like her at the resort too. Schwartz is in the street with Katie and Katie's like, Tom, I just want to go home. This is not fucking fair. And she starts to cry because it's the same fucking fight she's had for like 10 or 12 years now. And Schwartz is like, you want me to get you an Uber? He's like, yeah, leave. I'll help you. And Katie's like, no. And Schwartz is like, you look cute. What a dumb dude. Oh, you look cute. Oh, that makes it better. And Katie's like, you're making it so much more. She's probably so skeeved out, you know? And George is like, okay, sorry. I guess I can't win with you. Oh, he just like looks so put out. Oh, the Ballad of Schwartz. Oh, I can barely dress myself. And even though I made Katie leave me, this is still my torture. I'm so hurt, even though I cheated on Katie multiple times. I blame the alcohol, but I should be made. Anyways, that's not even a good song. Anyway, so now we get the the mid-season trailer that I talked about on Tuesday. So we see all of those scenes that ends with Ariana going, Sandoval going, "You want anything? For you to die." So that's it, you guys. That's it. My voice is thrashed. We had part 1 and part 2. Let's see if I stopped looking at my phone halfway through. That was good. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I'm so tired, and I got to be up at 9 a.m. to do some YouTube live for Bravo and Blaze. I didn't realize tonight would be such a long night, but we got through it, right? We got through another week of Vanderpump Rules, another week of Scandal, and we got through the reunion, which we'll see. But thank you guys so much for all of your support on the podcast and YouTube. If you do like the podcast, remember to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can go to patreon.com/SoBadIt'sGood. And for a $5 level, you get access to over 300 shows that have not been on the main feed. And that's it. Thank you for letting me do what I love and being supportive of it and seeming to enjoy it. And I hope to get better and better. And I hope to keep doing this. So thank you guys so much. This is where I start crying like Schwartz. Oh, or Sandoval. Oh, I put the dog up to my eyes to wipe the tears. But I hope you guys have the best weekend ever. Remember, it takes